Hi everyone, it's Kelly from the Hub. I am here today with Grace. She's one of the diabetes educators at WellSpan General Health. How are you there, Grace?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Excellent, excellent. So it's just to let everybody know, this is, it's like the end of June right now, and people are excited about doing all the things that they want to do in their life. They want to go outside and do the fun things and have people over and stuff. And COVID-19 is still here, huh?
Exactly. It hasn't gone away.
Yeah. So we should talk about what this means, because I think a lot of people, when this region went green over last weekend, we're under the misconception that green means go, and that means everything's normal. And so tell us what green means in terms of health stuff.
Okay. Green does not mean forget everything and go your merry way because COVID is still around. So guidelines that we're still following with the CDC is, stay home if you need to. If you're going out, wear a mask when in public because that's going to prevent you from spreading it to somebody else. Keep washing your hands. If you're out, carry your hand sanitizer with you, carry your tissues with you if you have to cough or sneeze, whatever. Avoid touching your face, avoid touching your eyes. Again, we've been talking, improving your nutritional status, eat healthy, be physically active, get enough sleep. In the midst of all this, be aware of your mental health. Anxiety and depression can be exacerbated or developed during this time. So just keeping that in mind too, and just kind of improving those things, but not getting lax if you kind of forget that COVID is still out there.
Yeah, I think that either people wanted to forget it was there, or they were just, I've heard a lot of people say, I'm over it. Well, you can be over it, but it's not over with you yet. So
Exactly.
it's still there. And I think, as far as, we're seeing a lot of people who are I think are manifesting they're manifesting all this stuff in anger.
Right.
They're
Right.
yelling at
Exactly.
people because of masks. I mean, I understand. I had to go through a couple of different kinds of masks to find the one that works best for me. I have a big old head. So the regular ones that just go over your ears never really seem to fit because I have a big old head. So
Right.
I had to find ones that go around your head and that fit better. And those don't make me feel claustrophobic. Those feel better. I've also experimented with a face shield because sometimes that feels better. The mask wearing, though, is super important.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
It just is. It's super important, and it's about consideration about other people. Remember, and all of you at WellSpan have said this to me a million times. You might not know that you have COVID yet.
Right.
And in the interim, you could be infecting a lot of people, and that's just not right.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you just got to do it. You just got to, whether you're over it or not, wear the mask.
There's worse things we could have to do.
That's right. Like be on a ventilator, be in the
Right.
hospital, all those kinds of things. All right. So,
Out and about. Yeah.
right, we gotta keep this. We gotta keep this same stuff that we've been doing since March. We gotta keep it going strong.
Right.
So, in terms of diabetes, however, what's the best advice that you can give to people who are still doing it, but they're like, well, now what?
The big thing with having diabetes is keeping the blood sugars under control. That's a bottom line with anything, because if you have diabetes and you do get COVID, just because you have diabetes, you're not at a more risk of developing COVID. The problem is if you have diabetes and develop COVID, if your blood sugars are not under control, you have a greater risk of suffering more severely from having COVID.
Okay. So, right. One, having diabetes doesn't mean you could get it, but
Right.
if you get it, and you have diabetes and you're not managing well, it could make things worse down the line.
Exactly the same way if you would get the flu, if you get the pneumonia, if you get any kind of illness, it's the same thing.
Right, right. This isn't any different than any other kind of thing that you could get.
Right,
In
exactly.
terms of the diabetes can make it worse if you're not managing your blood sugar.
Exactly.
All about keeping your blood sugar managed. Okay, so I can hear people out there going, but I don't feel safe going to get my blood checked at the doctor like I'm supposed to on a regular basis. So what do you say to those people?
Going to the doctor's office, going to the lab, if you're wearing your mask, they have protocols, okay? They're going to be wearing masks. When you go to the door there, like to get blood work done, they're going to ask you if you have any symptoms, and if you're clear, they let you in. Everybody's practicing social distancing in there. If you have an appointment with your healthcare provider to go to the office, some places you are waiting in your car until it's your turn. Then they will call you, they'll bring you in, they take you directly to the exam room, and you're in one room, and that's where you wait until the healthcare provider can come in to see you. So it's safe to go in to see your healthcare provider. It's safe to go in and get your blood work done.
Excellent. Some physicians' offices are offering telemedicine. I know that there are people who have said, never having experienced it, they're saying, woohoo, telemedicine. And some people are saying, boo, telemedicine. So what's the answer about telemedicine?
You have to kind of do with what you feel comfortable with. Some people are not comfortable because they don't have the internet, they've never done it before. But a lot of people who are willing to do it have had help to walk them through the steps. And if you're with My WellSpan and have the portal, they'll work with you to work through that, and you can actually have a good telemedicine visit. I've had people that I've done by telemedicine where we could see video like you and I are doing now. I've had some people we've done phone visits, and it's worked out really good. And as you get more comfortable with it, it's easier. When this all started, I did not know what Zoom was all about. And I'm still not 100% comfortable, but I'm more comfortable now than I was 3 months ago when this all started.
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend who is with WellSpan, and when she made her appointment, her physician's assistant said, there will be somebody who calls you and walks you through how to do this. And she
Right.
said, well, I know. Nope. There will be someone who calls you. And even if you know how to do Zoom, there might be something different. So truly, WellSpan is really making it easy to be able to do lots of kinds of different things. So if you feel
Right.
like you're still not ready to go out, you can do lots of times you can do telemedicine. And remember, right, a health system has special cleaning protocols that are higher than restaurants and stores. And so if you feel comfortable going into the Home Depot or going into Giant, then you should absolutely feel comfortable going into the doctor's office.
Exactly, because we are held at a much higher standard
Right.
than they all are. And
Right. If you're running amok at a Home Depot, you can go to the doctor.
right, exactly. Yeah, and like I said, if you're not comfortable with that, still have some connection with your healthcare provider, because you want to allow for adjustment treatments. If things are not going well for you, you want somebody to be in touch with you. One thing I've done over the last several months is some of my clients I've been following with them, I've been in touch with them on the phone just to make sure they're doing okay. I had somebody who called me today, and it's like, when are we doing the next support group? I said, one person, I'm not sure when. And then we went over some things. I said, how are you doing? She's like, well, my numbers are going up. And so we talked about some things. She said what she's doing. I said, how are you doing with exercise? We talked about some different things she can do in her house. And then when I ended, I said, should I call you in 2 weeks to see how you're doing? She said, that would be great, because she wants her numbers to go back down again. So when she goes back to the doctor's office in September, she's doing okay. Some of our concern is people are waiting to get their health taken care of. And so what's going to happen in 2-3 months down the road, you're going to have all these major problems, and then we're going to try to fix it, and it may be too late to fix some of those things if you've had elevated blood sugars for 3 months. That's doing damage in your body. We talked about that in the past.
Right. I mean, and you've told me this, and other people at WellSpan on these interviews have said this as well. Increased stress equals increased blood sugar.
Correct.
Whether you are eating the same or not eating the same, just the stress alone can cause your blood sugar to escalate. So if you're not, and remember also, you guys have taught me so well, your body might be under stress, even though might not be thinking that you are stressed, because remember, we've all been doing this for so long, so we could feel like this is normal, and our body is still like, oh no, this ain't normal.
Exactly.
Right, so we have to be thoughtful about what's really going on inside that you don't know about, which is why prick that little finger with that little guide, stick it in there in that little meter and see what those numbers are, and manage it.
Right. The other thing too, stress can contribute to is elevated blood pressure. And you may not know if your blood pressure is elevated. And that's another thing that can cause damage to your body too, not just the elevated blood sugars, but elevated blood pressure too. And that's one thing that people aren't getting blood pressures checked. Some physicians are saying, go out and buy one, check your blood pressure, kind of see how you're doing. But that can be something that's going up, and we don't know that either, because you feel fine.
Right. And as we've talked about with Stacy a lot, that an elevated blood pressure can lead to a lot of things. And those are one of those things that we, right. You just can't go, my blood pressure. Because you're not, remember, we're not all trained in this stuff.
Right.
And you're sometimes not feeling what you need to be feeling. So, right. And we're not trying to scare people. We're just trying to say,
be aware.
Managing your health in times of funkiness like we're doing right now is more important than it ever was in the past.
Exactly.
And we need to be real honest with ourselves. Some of us, and I will absolutely raise my hand, are not perfect at this.
No, nobody's perfect. And I tell people all the time, even with diabetes management, you're not going to be perfect. If you strive to be perfect, that's a stress.
Right. You're going to make yourself crazy trying to be the best diabetic patient ever. You can't be.
Possible. It's not possible. You
just have to be thoughtful regularly.
Exactly. Yep. And you find out what things work, what things don't work, and you are adapting to life as you go along, because things may be going well for a while, something happens, you have to make a change. So you're always constantly adapting to the situation, to blood sugars, to healthy eating, to physical activity, whatever. And a lot of people have gone through a lot of stresses the past 3 months, and even maybe the next 3 months, because this still isn't over, and it's making the adaptations. And for some people, change is hard. Other people, change is easy, but change is a stress to most people, and finding ways to adapt can be challenging.
And I know a lot of us out there blame ourselves when the numbers change, and you might not have anything to do with it. Correct. Your body changes because it's your body. If you've been doing good things and your body still changes, that's what bodies do. And so I have a tendency, and I know a lot of people out there do too, to go, oh, I was terrible. I did something wrong. Sometimes that just happens. And so that's why you have to keep adjusting that stuff and not beat yourself up and still go to the doctor.
And if you have a bad day, that's okay. Today's a bad day. Tomorrow starts a new day. Or I had a bad morning. Okay, this afternoon's different. Pick yourself up and keep going. Yeah.
Right.
And stay in touch with your healthcare providers, stay in touch with your diabetes educators, whoever's your support system. And even if you're connected with behavioral health, or you need a counselor or somebody to talk to on the emotional aspect, don't leave that part either. That's very, very important to our health as well, the emotional aspects too. because that plays into our physical aspects.
So let's summarize this. Keep on top of your life. Stress is going to be there, but you got to just know it and
Right.
keep on top of your life. Check your blood sugars so that you can keep on top of your life. Keep doing all the things that we've been talking about since forever so that you can keep on top of your life.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Because we want you to be healthy.
And just let it be okay.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And as one of my very good friends who posts stuff on Facebook says, every single time she posts, just breathe.
I was going to just say, take a deep breath and relax.
That's right.
Today's a beautiful day outside. Enjoy some sunshine. Go out for a walk. It's nice and sunny. Get some fresh air. Be in the sun for 5 minutes. Get that vitamin D.
I think I'm going to go do that right now.
Sounds good.
Good advice. Thanks, Grace. As always, we will make sure that, all your stuff is hooked up in there so that people can contact WellSpan in lots of ways.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you. See you, everybody.
Bye.